Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Samzilla33 here, and welcome to Mix Up. And today we're going to be talking about Klinklang and Meganium Prime, which one I think is better. And you might be wondering, why am I wearing my hat? It's because I got a haircut, so no more stupid hair for me. But anyway, Klinklang versus Meganium, they both do the basic same thing. You use Prism and Rainbow energies to, act as their respective movable type of energy to substitute as other types of energy, for Groudon EX and Darkrai EX and EX and Kyurem EX and Darkrai EX and Magikarp EX and whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about, but anyway, which one's better, what's good about one, what's good about the other, and also 2 Battle Rose reports because it went to 2 over this weekend. So let's see what happens in those battle roads and what I think about the Klinklang Meganium. Hold it! You might be wondering what I was talking about in the last episode. A card I hate about the Dark Explorers that shouldn't even exist. Well, that card was going to be today's episode, but I found the episode was too whiny. What's the card? Well, look at Gym Cass. It's stupid. It's not fair. It's ridiculous. It's so luck-based. It's the most luck-based card in the entire video game, the try card game. It's so stupid. I could never run it. It's so overpowered. I can't run it. There's nothing I can do. Everyone else runs it. I'm doomed. If everyone ran 4 copies, I'd lose 0 and 9 or whatever next Nats if I'm going there. I hate it. I hate it so much. So stupid. Anyway, Klinklang Meganium.
So at this point, I'm sure you've all heard about Klinklang by now. It's been doing pretty well at Battle Roads, and there's a good reason. Back when Black and White came out, there weren't really too many playable steel types. I guess there was Scizor Prime, but no one uses that, and he's not very powerful. He's just not very good at it overall. I guess then Cobalion came out in Noble Victories. He still wasn't too great. I mean, he was okay. But the shifting gear strategy doesn't really help anything much about Cobalion or anything. It kind of helps Scizor, but Cobalion, there's really no reason for it. So people then got thinking about this new deck that came out in Japan, which is Darkrai Hydreigon, and uses a new card from that's set Dragon Blade, or Dragon Blast, one of the two, that uses a Hydreigon, and it basically has the same ability as Klinklang, but allows you to move dark energy around the field instead of steel energy. So people got thinking, since this deck is doing really well at Japan, when the card's out, why don't we try it here? So when then they thought about Klinklang and other energy movers like Meganium Prime, they thought, well, all their types suck, so let's combine them with Prism and Rainbow energies to get the effect of all those cards and the shifting of the energies type thing. So basically, what the Klinklang deck does is you use Prism and Rainbow energies as your steel energy, and then you use cards like Max Potion to heal off the Pokemon once you move them off. Say you have Groudon, you move off his energy, Max Potion, then you move him back on. And you can also use Pokemon like Darkrai to give all your Pokemon free retreat. It's just actually a pretty good deck. It's done pretty well at Battle Roads. It's a very good tank deck, and shows us that a Stage 2 can still be pretty good. However, there's another variant, as you might have guessed, of Klinklang that still exists in this format, which is Meganium, which is basically the exact same deck, but it uses Meganium Prime instead, which has the same basic ability. It basically says that you can move grass energies around as much as you want, and Klinklang is move steel energies as much as you want. Now, obviously, there are a lot better steel types in this format than there are grass types. I mean, with grass, you have Virizion and Shaman. Those aren't very great. With Klinklang, you have Cobalion, which is okay, and Scizor, which sucks. So, personally, I'd go with Klinklang in terms of type advantage. There's also some more Pokemon that are weak to steel than grass, such as Kyurem EX is weak to steel, which is also used in Klinklang decks as well, since, it's a tank. And Meganium, there's no such type advantage at all. So, why would you use Meganium at all? What's the purpose of using it instead of Klinklang? Well, there are several purposes. First of all, it has a less luck-based attack. It requires a lot more energy. But, I mean, it still is less luck-based if you really hate those coin flips like I do. Meganium would be your card of choice. Second of all is it has 150 HP compared to Klinklang's 140. Say if you come across Typhlosion Prime for some reason, it could actually one-hit go Klinklang, but not Meganium, unless they have a plus power, because they're actually both weak to fire. So the 150 HP doesn't help too much. It still gets knocked out by Zekrom EX, and there's nothing that can really do 140 damage. Maybe there is a Darkrai with Dark Claw and 3 Dark Energies, but the 10 HP could be a little good in some situations. Maybe Zekrom double plus power or something, I don't know. But then it's one thing to consider. Next is resistance. Klinklang has a far superior resistance. Psychic types are much more prominent. The water types, obviously Mewtwo EX is a really great card. Not that Klinklang will ever have energies on him in the first place, but water, no one uses that. So next is the retreat cost. Retreat cost for Klinklang is 3, while Meganium is 2. Now this probably won't matter in most situations because you'll just use Darkrai to give him free retreat, but in the case that you can't get Darkrai, or you're fighting Terrakion and you don't want to bench Darkrai because, you know, you'll immediately get one-hit KO'd, it will waste a lot less energy. And this deck, biggest weakness is wasting energy. If you waste energy drops, then you're going to be in the world of hurt. In terms of which one I would go with, I would personally pick Klinklang because there are definitely a better steel type, as in Cobalion, than better grass types, Shaman EX and Virizion, which I would not recommend in this deck. And also, I don't really see you in a situation where you want to manually retreat in a Klinklang deck. I mean, if you really come across a lot of those situations, then you should probably choose Meganium, just because of its retreat cost. But I would say stick with Klinklang, and that extra HP doesn't really matter, and that psychic resistance is probably a much better thing to have. So now let's get on to the Battle Roads report. Yeah, I went to 2 Battle Roads this weekend, actually, the last weekend of Battle Roads, and I'm bringing my Groudon Terrakion deck. I took out the Landorus because I found out that it really only helps in very specific situations, as in the very start of the game, and then if you can Abundant Harvest. Otherwise, it fails in almost every category. So I just took out the Landorus and added more Terrakion. I'm just gonna go ahead and show you my list right now. As you can see, I run 13 fighting energy instead of the usual 12 because I, for some reason, just whiff way more often than I should. I also have 3 switch because that is a pretty realistic situation wanting to switch. I have 2 super scoop up, just for those situations where we need to scoop up those Groudons. And I also have Runes of Alpha to counter the Tornado CX if I come across it, which I did, in fact, come across Tornado CX. So yeah, the list is pretty consistent. It's got 13 supporters and 2 random receivers. It's got 4 search, it's got all the EXP shares you could want, all the catchers. I just think it's a pretty solid list and probably one of the best I could possibly come up with for a fighting deck. So for the first Battle Roads, there is 5 juniors and 5 seniors in the thing, so obviously they're mixed together. So I'm going to mix them with the juniors, which leads to some interesting events. So the first round, up against my friend Nick, and he's running Reshiflosion. He's the kid who ran the quad Entei deck. He couldn't quite get all the Enteis he needed, so he decided to run Reshiflosion with Entei EX in it. And this match starts out pretty bad. I actually get pretty far behind on prizes. I think it's 2 prizes, and then I knock out his Entei, and then we're back to even. But he's still in a pretty good position. He's such a Reshiram, and he can attack me. I try to take out a lot of his Cyndaquils for easy prizes, but sometimes I just can't get the knockout on it. Honestly, I don't really remember what else happened in that match, but in the end, I won. I'm pretty sure I got 2 of the knockouts on his Enteis, and I think like 1 on a Cyndaquil and some other stuff, or one other thing. So yeah, this is the first game. I'm 1-0. By the way, there's going to be 3 rounds, so that's third of the tournament. And next round, up against a junior named Sydney. If you don't know who Sydney is, she's actually a very competent junior. She actually got 2nd at Nationals, I think, last year. And what do you know, she's running Darkrai Tornadus. What an awesome choice. So, of course, for the rest of the game, she tries using Tornadus EX and Mewtwo EX instead of her Darkrai's. I don't think she puts down one the entire game. I keep having to get 2-hit KOs on her EXs, and she uses Super Scoop Up a lot. Actually, the funny thing is she runs 2 Super Scoop Up, and she actually used 3 of her junk arms to get back Super Scoop Up, so she used a total of 5 Super Scoop Ups the entire game when she only runs 2. And somehow she ended up to avoid, like, me taking 1.5 billion prizes. She gets 4 out of 5 heads, and that's really what sends me out in this game. I do avoid some chaos with my Super Scoop Ups, but not nearly as many as she did. It's just kind of ridiculous how many heads she got. I did try using my runes elf that I was testing out, but of course she played Skyward Bridge to get rid of it, so that's one of the downfalls of running runes elf. Especially if you only run 2, you can't really keep placing it because they're going to keep placing theirs. So, I would have maybe won that game if she had gotten a few less heads, so yeah, just that darn Super Scoop Up. We'll get to Super Scoop Up later, so I'm 1-1. And for round 3, I'm actually up paired to the best player in Senior Division, Isaiah, who I fought back in the first Battle Road. This time he's running Darkrai Tornadus. I guess he just screw the rogue idea. Let's go Darkrai Tornadus and win a bunch of victory cups. Yeah, I fought the best senior in the area and the best junior in the area, both in the same tournament. And this game starts pretty bad. I start Shaman. He gets pretty close to getting the donk. He gets Darkrai with, I think, 2 energies, but he doesn't have a way to retreat his Smeargle to actually get Darkrai into the active spot or get the 3rd energy on. So I try setting up Terrakion, and for some reason in the middle of the game he actually uses Darkrai, even though he does run Tornadus. He for some reason decides to promote Darkrai and knock out one of my Terrakions, forcing me to send up my own Terrakion, and, you know, taking 2 prizes off his Darkrai. So it was kind of a interesting move on his part. I don't know exactly what he was thinking. But anyway, eventually it gets to a point where I have a Groudon with 2 energies on it, and I can't really do much. I think he used N and put me down to a small hand. I couldn't really draw anything, and he eventually knocks out my Groudon. Win. Good game, and I'm 1-2. And for some reason, since there's 5 seniors, I still come out with 3rd place. So, yeah, I'm not too ashamed of that loss because, you know, I fought the 2 best players in the entire tournament, at least not in Masters. So, that was definitely a very interesting tournament, and I got my first victory cup. Yay! It's just a bronze, though. So, not too amazing, but, you know, it's something. At least I ended the year with 1, or ended the season. So, now on to the next tournament. This is at my home place, not my hometown, because I don't live in the town, but it's my home league area, alternate universes, and yeah, this is again a 3-round tournament. There's 7 seniors, so 3 rounds. It kind of stinks. And so yeah, let's get to the rounds right away. First round up against Nick again, and unlike last one, he gets to a pretty slow start, and I actually get pretty far ahead. It's not too pretty. I just keep, you know, using Terrakion to take out his Entei, and, you know, not much to say about it. 1-0. And next round up against a kid named Joseph, who's running Darkrai Tornadus with Sableye and Crushing Hammers. And it's actually, the Sableye Crushing Hammer strategy is probably the best Darkrai variant against Terrakion, because Terrakion's energy acceleration is very poor, and it needs 3 energies to attack, 2 if they're knocked out. But if they're using Crushing Hammers and Junk Hunt, then they're not going to be able to get out and attack anytime soon. So, yeah, you might remember this guy from my Cities report. He was the guy who tried to bribe me with packs. I didn't actually know that was violating a rule. If it was, I would have. If I did know that, I would have reported him. But I didn't know that at the time. But apparently that's illegal. Don't do that. Don't bribe. But this time, thankfully, he wasn't quite as stupid. He didn't bribe me with packs. So yeah, this is definitely a very, very interesting game. So I don't remember where I started. He starts using Crushing Hammers a ton. He just gets, like, I think he gets 1 heads and 1 tails of average around each 2 flips that he does. He doesn't actually get out too many Crushing Hammers in the first. He only gets 1 in the discard for the most of the game, so he has to keep using Junk Armor to get them. Eventually he gets a second one to discard. I just keep attaching. I can't quite get an attack off, and eventually he can't get the second Crushing Hammer, and he gets tails, so I'm finally able to attach and attack again. And yeah, this game just goes ridiculous. I think I super rodded twice for a bunch of energy to get, since, you know, he's discarding all of them. It's just, this match is so drawn out. It actually goes to time, where there's two prizes. I can't knock out any EXs, and so it goes to sudden death. So whoever takes a prize first wins. And it gets to a situation where he ends me down to 2 cards, and basically, situation is this. He has a Tornadus EX in the active, fully powered up. He got heads on blow through, so he's still got 3 energy. I got Groudon in the active with nothing on it, and 100 damage obviously, and Terrakion on the bench with 1 energy and 30 damage. So Tornadus EX can knock out any of my Pokemon. And he has Sableye on the bench and Smeargle on the bench. So what I need to do to win is I need a catcher, a switch, an energy, and a plus power. So I need a supporter since I have 2 cards and I draw a 3rd. So with my hand I get catcher, I get the energy, and I get a Juniper. So great. I catch up his Smeargle. I almost actually captured Sableye because I thought I had a fighting weakness. It does not. It has no weakness, so do not think that ever. Thank goodness I realized that when I did. So I Juniper. Draw the first card. I think it's energy. Keep drawing energy. Energy and supporter. 3 cards. 4 cards. I get the plus power. 5 cards. Nothing. 6 cards. Nothing. 7th card. Super Scoop Up. Great. Isn't this gonna be fun? Alright, so I say to my opponent, this game is about to get really stupid. I play Super Scoop Up. I flip the coin. Now I'm gonna reenact this in real life just for the epic moment that is about to happen.
Come on, heads! Ah! Ah! Dang it!
Yeah, that wasn't the prettiest sight from my friend crowding around the table. And myself, obviously. So, after that ridiculously close match, he retreats and brings up Tornadus and knocks me out. Good game, very long game. Went down to a single stupid Super Scoop Up flip. I swear, I'll never play a deck with Super Scoop Up in it again. I can't hold myself to that just because the temptation of the card is so good. It's such a good effect. It's such a huge downfall at the same time. But anyway, round 3. I'm up against a kid named Connor with VVV, Vanillix Victini Vileplume, which is probably my deck's worst possible matchup because, first of all, Groudon's weak to water, and second of all, Vileplume shuts off your trainers, meaning, again, just like last week, half my deck is a complete dead draw zone. So, you can probably guess how this game goes. I think I get one or two prizes before he gets Vileplume Vanillix out, then he just steamrolls me. Nothing I can do. Locks on. It's not a pretty sight in the slightest. So, end the day with 1 and 2. I get 6th out of 7. If it was worth it for that frickin' coin flip, might have been in a little higher place, but nope. Nope. Not a chance. So that's going to do it for the episode of the day.
So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I sure didn't enjoy the events involving Super Scoop Up in this episode. But for Klinklang Meganium, test out which ones you like, see what you like about one. If you end up manually cheating a lot, then pick Meganium. If you end up having to attack a lot, use Klinklang. But that's just me. Alright, so next week I'll actually be on a break. And I don't exactly remember what I'm going to do next week. So, one last thing before I go. Curse you, Super Scoop Up!